Let's get it. Just making sure we live on Instagram and everything is connected properly. Tap in with me. Tap in with me. What's up? What's up? My mic sound nice. If you can hear me, tap in with me. What's up? Okay, I see y'all tapping in. We should be good, y'all. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Let me see. Lights acting funky back there. We'll get it straight. I ain't tripping. One of the lights acting funky. But I'm here, y'all. Tap in with me. Tap in with me. I know y'all like, man, Jackpot come on here, man. He just ain't no telling. Y'all don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna do it. Let me just make sure everything good, y'all. Okay, I see y'all tapped in. So I don't like keeping people waiting too long, y'all. So I want to make sure. There we go. Okay, a little bit of me, a little bit of you know what I mean, and a little bit of that. It don't take long, y'all. So we got all the lights on. See, the lights are not important while I'm doing the live, but the lights look good when I do the when I repurpose the content. So I like to make sure the ambiance is real good. And the ambiance is good, y'all. We tapped in. Everything is where it's supposed to be at. And we sound good and we here. So I wanted to make sure I came on here as soon as possible to discuss Irv Gotti. I haven't been on here a lot, y'all. I'm gonna get a little bit into my personal thing first. So I haven't been on here a lot. I could barely see. Um, it didn't matter if I had my contacts, glasses, anything on. My eyes were terrible. I had some problems with dryness, and I was a little hesitant to get on here like I usually do because I could not see. Could see. I had corrective lenses and contacts, and I couldn't see. But we got that together. I have uh got me some medicated drops, and now I'm back. So I'm gonna do this a little more often. I'm gonna try to get on here at least twice a week. Sometimes I may be able to do 3 times a week, but that would be more like a software thing. We're gonna break up the lives for different things because I got a whole lot going on. But rest in peace to Irv Gotti, y'all. If you have not heard, man, Irv passed, y'all. Irv passed like 2 days ago. And um I seen you see different things and people try to it's like weird. People try to, talk bad about people because they not here, or people try to discredit people that are not here. And I'm telling you, Irv meant a lot more to hip hop than we give him credit for. Of course, we know about what happened at Murder Inc. with Irv and Ashanti and Ja Rule and different people like that. But Irv was responsible for finding DMX. Like, even though he was on Rough Rider, Irv was like one of the most important people to DMX coming out. Rest in peace to DMX. So it was a big thing that Irv like fought for DMX to be on Def Jam, and that takes a lot when people trust in you and your opinion, and then you bring them somebody and they like, look, we ain't feeling them, and that's how the situation was um with DMX. So we take Irv for granted, and I want to make sure we give Irv his proper respect because he did a lot for hip hop, like a lot, and especially for New York hip hop. Irv did a lot. I remember I was about 10 or 11, and people didn't realize it, but Irv had Mike Geronimo, and Mike Geronimo was dope to me. He had the song "Too Hot," which was kind of commercial, but Mike Geronimo had some other songs that were like hip hop songs that were dope. And I found out that Irv was his manager, and Irv did a lot. Like, it's just crazy that all we think about is Murder Inc. and what 50 Cent did to that. And I'm gonna segue into the 50 Cent story, but I just wanted to touch on Irv Gotti, and even the content that he was doing with Tails was dope to me. I thought Tails was dope, right? So um we gotta give respect where it's due, right? We didn't let 50 tell us to not like Irv, but Irv did a lot for the culture, and we need to respect Irv and what he did for the culture. Now, the stuff that happened the last couple years with Ashanti was kind of like chatty. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about whatever he had going on with her, bunch of stuff we didn't need to know, and that was kind of chatty. I see Fat Joe had fell out with him about it, and probably other people too, because even if you had whatever going on with that young lady, it wasn't everybody business 15, 20 years later. So that was a little chatty. But other than that, I thought Irv was okay. I'm a 50 Cent fan, especially back then. And I wasn't, F Murder Inc. I thought Irv was dope as a CEO. And I thought that Ja was dope as an artist. I felt like the only thing that Ja messed up, and it could have been a lot more going on behind the scenes, because I heard Ja talking about how Def Jam made them release Blood in My Eyes as an album, and they had only prepared it to be a mixtape. And as a mixtape, it would have been dope. I thought the only thing was missing on Blood in My Eyes were the the female songs that we were looking for from Ja Rule at the time. And I understand they had their case and they had other things going on. So it was a whole lot going on, but I didn't think that Blood in My Eyes was a bad album. And I didn't think that, oh, 50 killed them and Ja fell off. I thought Ja made decent music. Even when he came back with Pain in My Eyes 2 and different stuff like that, I thought those albums were all right too. I think Ja made decent music. Now, that's just me. But I felt like, everything just kind of happened at the same time and it killed Murder Inc. As far as the indictment with Supreme, and even though they beat it, it's a lot on you. Even if you beat the indictment, you still got to deal with deals being left off the table because of whatever they feel like you may have done, or whoever they feel like you may have done it with. I feel like a lot of things just, it is like the universe aligned to destroy Murder Inc. Like they had a nice run for about 3 or 4 years, then the whole universe just aligned and it was over. Like it was over between indictments and deals going bad and 50 Cent blowing up. Like you beef with the biggest artist in the world at the time, and it was like literally the biggest hip hop artist in the world, and that person is against you. It was a lot to deal with when your funds are dry because you're fighting the case, when the people who you thought had your back don't have your back. Y'all see it now with Puffy. As fast as something happens, people turn their back. And if you look at the Puffy case, it's not even whatever the media is trying to make this case out to be. Puffy case is not that case. The media is trying to make this case like Puffy was running some type of sex ring and it was all this crazy stuff. In reality, he's a very freaky man and he has some very freaky people around him and they did some very freaky things. But it doesn't look like the case is what they're trying to make this case out to be. And that's how the media wants us to look at our superheroes, is that they're doing so. They wanted us to think that Kanye was crazy. They want us to think that Michael Jackson was whatever they try to paint him to be. R. Kelly is a very freaky man. I'm not saying he's not a freaky man, but they want to tear him down when some of their celebrities have done a lot of things worse. You don't hear white people dogging Elvis, and Elvis was a pedophile, a racist, a terrible person, and they're not going to talk bad about Elvis. They're going to make movies about him time and time again, and they're going to tell us that Tupac was a rapist, Mike Tyson was a rapist, and all of these other people. Mystical is definitely a rapist. Mystical is a rapist. But I'm saying some of our biggest celebrities, they are trying to tell us that these people are the worst people in the world because it makes us feel like less of people. And that's what they're doing with all this DEI and all of that. But we'll get into Trump after this. I just wanted to talk about Irv and to talk about the case and different things like that. And Irv did a lot with Ashanti and Fat Joe in that community and different. I'm telling you, Irv's fingerprints are all over hip hop as we know it, and it does not stop and it does not start and stop with Murder Inc. I'm telling you, Irv handle business. Like without DMX, we don't get Swizzy. Without Swizzy, we don't get the lock. It's so much that goes with a DMX getting signed and then the locks and then whatever, or vice versa. Like it's so much, and he had his fingerprints on a lot of things that went on in hip hop, and we are not gonna act like Irv is just Murder Inc. Just not gonna do that. Well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm telling y'all, y'all shouldn't. So, now that that's out the way, let's talk a little bit about the 50 Cent situation, right? 50 Cent and Big Meech. I want to talk a little bit about that. I'm not gonna be on here super long tonight, y'all. It's been a long day for me. My daughter had a cheerleading competition, and I've been in these streets, and I'm a little tired, but I wanted to get on here tonight, and I'm on this thing. So we got 50 Cent and Big Meech beefing. And what is this about? So we all know that 50 Cent executive produced the BMF series. And the BMF series is dope. The BMF series is dope. And Meech made some money. If you've ever been incarcerated, I don't care what you have going on out here. When you're incarcerated, money gets tight. I don't I don't care what you had going on. You could have had a million spots. Somebody gonna play you. Somebody gonna feel like you not close enough to touch them. They're gonna try you. Everything can go bad really fast. So having this series is something that could have been kept Big Meech afloat. And it definitely helped Lil Meech because we only knew Lil Meech as Lil Meech until this series. And Lil Meech has made a way for his father to come home and money to be on the table. Now, Big Meech has a coming home party in Florida, and when you in Florida, there's a few people that you kind of want to tap in with, and it could be Trick Daddy, it could be Luke, but one of the people that a lot of people tap in with in Florida is Rick Ross, and we all know 50 Cent and Rick Ross have whatever they have going on. It's not had, they still have it. Just want to make that clear. So it's not like they had an issue. 50 Cent and Rick Ross still have their issue. And Big Meech and Rick Ross took pictures. They're promoting a coming home party. And 50 didn't like it. So 50 took to the internet and he did what 50 do. And he talked about Meech being a rat. So I have looked at some of the paperwork. I have also watched a few videos breaking down the paperwork. I've seen Blue. I've seen Blue talk about it. I've seen Cuffy talk about it. I've seen a few of the like, street bloggers talk about it. But I want to tell y'all the truth about the Big Meech rat allegations that don't appear to be true. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. The allegations just don't appear to be true. And that's not for me to say that people don't rat every day. And it's not because I'm from Southwest and we look at Big Meech like the president of Southwest. We love Big Meech in Southwest, but a rat is a rat. Anybody familiar with me, y'all know I'm going to call a spade a spade. And there is nothing in this paperwork that lends to the idea of 50 Cent cooperating either personally or secondhand with the law. And that's what a rat is. People are too comfortable calling people rats. If you have ever really been in the streets and been in the joint, then you understand how serious that label is, and you do not run around calling everybody rats. They were calling 50 Cent a rat because he got a uh what they call it, a protection order. Like that don't make you a rat. I've had a protection order before. Like you go and they say, yeah, you better get a protection order. It's gonna get like that. Like so, I've had to do one myself, y'all. That don't make you a rat. Like people have to stop using that word so loosely. People have to stop using that word so loosely. You do not call a person that has built their whole character and reputation off of the streets a rat. You don't call them a rat unless you have paperwork or you have somebody saying they took the stand or they, gave them information to come indict me. So what happened was there's a lady from Georgia named Tammy Cohen. And Tammy Cowan is the executive producer for BMF and the show because she had Big Meech's his rights. So when you're in prison, you cannot make money off your name and your likeness and all of that. They will wax you. They will wax you. Like they're gonna take your money, they'll do whatever. Like it could be little to nothing. Like you could have wrote a book and made $10,000. They're gonna try to charge you rent and do all of this other stuff. This they way of trying to take your money. Now, you are not supposed to operate a business while you're incarcerated. And to have a show like BMF, which is based on your life, and 50 Cent have to pay you, you cannot broker that deal from prison. So Tammy Cohen brokered this deal for me. He gave her the life rights and the different things like that. And it may not have been the smartest idea, but she did get the deal done. So it wasn't the worst idea in the world. She got the deal done. The problem is Tammy Cowan is a rat. She's a government informant. And not only was she a government informant in the case that they're blaming Meech on for ratting, it's the case with Cuffy. There are other cases that she cooperated with, at least one with a guy in Georgia who she did business with, and she started working with the law because she felt like that was her way of getting back at him. So this woman is a professional cooperator. This woman is a rat. So where they try to make it to where Big Meech is hot is that they're saying that he was working with her because she wanted to get evidence against Cuffy to get Cuffy a case and give Meech a time cut. And you can do that in the feds. The feds have all kind of ways to do that. They call it like second person cooperation. It's a whole thing. You got to look up this stuff, man. Like the feds play a crazy game. So it is possible. I've actually seen it happen. I'm telling you it's possible. So they're saying that Meech had her trying to get information on Cuffy and get Cuffy indicted. So Cuffy can go to prison and Meech can get a time cut, but that's not what happened. Meech is out of prison because he did his time, y'all. What y'all have to understand is that all kind of laws have passed since Meech went to prison. They have changed crack laws. They have the Second Chance Act. They have the First Step Act. They have all of these different laws, and Meech is not technically considered a violent criminal. So he's getting a lot of these kickbacks from these laws. So and then they have the drug program where you get a year off and they have all this other stuff. So you have to look at his time. And Meech has done about maybe 20, 22 years or so. What you got to realize is off a 30-year sentence, he's probably getting 5 years off for good time. Like, I don't think people understand the feds. So you're going to get all of this time off for good time. Then you're gonna get a year off for the drug program. The RDAP program give you a year off. They did not let me get the RDAP program because they said I had no drug habit on file. So I couldn't get it. But if you had a weed habit or alcohol habit or pill habit or cocaine habit or a crack habit or heroin habit or pill habit, whatever, you can get RDAP and they're going to give you this year off if you complete the program. The only problem is if you do any little thing, they try to take that year back and make you come back and finish that year. But you get that year off. So we're already looking at 24 to 23 years. Like I'm telling you. So then you got to think about the Second Chance Act. You got a year of halfway house that can be extended based on the Second Chance Act. You can get up to a year in a regular time, but you can get up to 2 years the way the Second Chance Act works. And depending on how much time you've done in prison, they may feel you need more time to adjust. They may feel like that. Thank you, Hustle Man 3.0. Right? They may feel like you need more time to adjust. So if you've done 20 years, they may say, hey, you're going to need 2 years in the halfway house or a year in the halfway house and then another year on home confinement. Your brother already home. Y'all got the same case. He's not out here doing too much. Let's go ahead and give you a shot at the free world. And that's probably what happened. You have people who have never done anything in the street, people who have never seen a day of fed time, people who don't understand federal laws trying to put some type of dirt on this man. They're trying to put some type of dirt on this man, and there is no dirt to actually be put on him. So when you actually look at the paperwork is clear that Tammy Cowan is a government informant. It doesn't necessarily say her name, but when you read the paperwork, you can put the pieces together. And I don't think she's even said that she's not a government informant. I mean, it's kind of hard when all the proof is right there. So this woman is a government informant. She said she had to go break some news to Meech before he found out through whatever channels about what was going on with her. That tells you right there that she was not in cahoots with Meech. If you read the paperwork, it's clear that she was not in cahoots with Meech. So you get all of these people that's bad mouthing somebody and once again tearing down somebody. And the government wants stuff like this. They love this because if you put Meech on a pedestal and they say, look, Meech rat it, you know what I'm saying? They never want you to see the people that's not rats. If you look at all the big movies like the movie Denzel was in, the American Gangster, I don't know what was gangster about dog, but at the end of the day, this man cooperated. And that's what they want you to see. They want you to see Sammy the Bull. They want you to see this type of stuff. They want you to see the rappers that are cooperating on gangs and things like that because it makes their job easier. Oh man, look at this man. Nobody did nothing to 6ix9ine or whoever this guy is. You know, you should just come over here and cooperate. So it works for them to say push this narrative of Big Meech being a rat. 50 Cent pushing his narrative of Big Meech being a rat, and that's his business, right? We know what 50 do, that's how he play the game. But at the end of the day, you a street guy too. You can't just throw that out to everybody and make nobody a rat. So Cuffy, shout out to Cuffy, man. Cuffy seems solid. I don't know Cuffy personally, but Cuffy seems solid. Nobody has said anything bad about Cuffy. I feel like after you get a certain amount of time, you start looking for people to point the finger at, and this was an easy thing to do, was to look at somebody like me and say, oh man, they did this. Now that's a conversation you need to have with your mans. Y'all straighten that out. Look, my guy, I didn't know anything about that. I didn't find out about that until 2015 or 2017. But by that time, I had already gave away my life rights or sold over my life rights or worked out a deal about my life rights. And she was already in the mix of doing some legal things. So I did not feel like it was time for me to sever ties with her in our business relationship because things were already moving along. What people have to realize, right? You have so many different uh ways to look at this situation. So you have Desiree at Rock Nation, right? Desiree Perez at Rock Nation is a government informant. She cooperated. Let me take that back. So Tammy Cowan is a government informant. That means she's worked with the government. With Desiree at Rock Nation, Desiree Perez at Rock Nation, she caught a case in the early 90s, mid 90s, maybe. And she cooperated. Before Rock Nation, she cooperated. Trump just gave her a pardon. If you're not familiar with this case, you can look this case up, right? But I'm telling you, so I'm gonna give you the right details. I don't want to lie to you, right? So uh she received a Trump pardon in 2020, 2021. So what she did was she cooperated against the cartel. She was making a lot of money and she cooperated. She told on the cartel. And she's running one of the biggest hip hop labels in the world right now. Management company, whatever you want to call it, sports, whatever. Her husband, Juan Perez, is one of Jay-Z's right-hand man. Now, I'm not knocking whatever Jay-Z got going on. What we have to do is realize that everything ain't about being in the streets. Everything ain't about being in the streets. We why are we taking the streets to business? Why are we taking the streets to business? This is why some of the rappers are still supporting Trump because of things like this, right? Now, when you look at her case and you look at somebody like Megan Thee Stallion, because whatever happened with her and Tory Lanez, she cooperated. When you look at different people, where we looking at this culture, like our culture says you can't do X, Y, and Z. Well, I'm telling you, they're doing it. They're doing it. Every like people are cooperating, and it is what it is. People are cooperating, and it is what it is. So I don't know Desiree personally, ain't my business. But we are throwing dirt at Big Meech for something that he may or may not have done. As I stated, I've seen the paperwork, and I'm telling you, the paperwork does not lend to the idea of the man being a rat. This is what happens when a bunch of people who are not street people try to do street stuff. Now, we have this situation where you got 50 Cent saying the man hot because whatever they have going on. And I don't feel like I knew it too. I don't feel like that's the right thing to do, especially not from somebody like 50. You've been in the streets this long and you know better, right? You know better than that. But it's not on none of us to tell him what's right and what's wrong. It's just about you having the right mindset and being the right type of person. So if all you care about is clicks and views, then you can say whatever you want to say about somebody. But if you are a man of integrity, you know to go look at that paperwork. And we've been listen, bro, I've been through the trenches. And most of the guys who understand how deep that word can get, we not running around calling that man a rat. So you get somebody like Blue who's he's been accused of being a rat. He's taking all of these interviews and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, Blue, this is not your place, man. We only know you because of Dog. You was an actor from Three Strikes. We don't know you to do nothing else but be with Dog. And then you get other people that's supporting it like um I'm not supporting anything that Blue does. I've been to parties here where we party because Blue was here, or we party because certain people was here, and my people still throwing BMF parties. People, anytime you show me that type of lack of integrity, I don't want nothing to do with you. I feel the same way about 50. I love 50. But bro, you ain't making no music I want to listen to. And your shows are aight, but I don't have to publicly support anything that you do, especially when you lack integrity and you just run around calling somebody a rat. I'm not feeling that. I'm not gonna be on this situation all night. I spoke my piece on it. There is nothing that lends to the idea of Big Meech being a rat right now. From my viewing of the paperwork and other things involved in the case, this woman, Tammy Cowan, is definitely a government informant, and she definitely told on at least two people. And even the Cuffy case is not just Cuffy's not in jail for her telling on Cuffy. Basically, they were building a case and they kept mentioning Cuffy, but that case was dropped. The wiretap, they couldn't use it because she was sleeping with the police officer, her handler. So this just go to show you what kind of person she is. She's just an opportunist, and she gonna do whatever she feel like doing. So they just kept hearing Cuffy name, and they built the case on Cuffy from this wiretap, but the case had to be dropped because of inappropriate relationships between this witness, Tammy Cowan, and her handler. So that case was dropped, but they had information from the wiretap that they used to pursue Cuffy in another case. So even the case that Cuffy's in prison on, it had nothing to do with Tammy Cowan or Big Meech. It just basically was something that they built from the wiretaps that they got from Tammy Cowan and whoever else saying Cuffy's name. And even those people weren't Big Meech. Big Meech was already in prison. What y'all got to realize is Big Meech was in prison at this time. And this lady was out here cooperating with the government. And it had nothing to do with him. He got involved with her for his life rights, and he signed over his life rights. And she was supposed to go make him some money. And that's what she did with the BMF series. Stop calling that man a rat until you get some more information. This is just not how y'all got to get y'all together. Now, On to the one and only Donald Trump. So Donald Trump did a lot in the past 3, 4 weeks he been in office, and none of it is designed to help us. I hear people still talking about, well, Trump gonna do it and Trump gonna say, and this is gonna happen. Trump don't care about y'all. Get that through your head. I'm not even gonna be on here all night talking about Trump. I'm telling you, I got about 5 minutes of Trump talk in me. Trump don't care about y'all. Y'all sound crazy. Y'all sound crazy. Trump don't care. Now, what may happen is Trump might drop some fruit off the tree of abundance for the people who look like him, act like him, think like him. And you may scrape up on something sooner or later. I know you're gonna be happy. I know you'll be happy to get your scraps, but he did not grow that tree for you. Now, if something fall off and you get you something to nibble on, then he probably won't trip. But the things that he is doing now has nothing to do with you as a black person, even though some things may trickle down to you. Some things may trickle down to you. So you're going to get those little crumbs and feel like he did you a favor, and that's fine. But I'm telling you, Trump don't care about you. Nothing that he's doing right now is about furthering our culture or furthering anything for black people or brown people or red people or anybody else. All he's dealing with, all he's pushing and uh making a way for is people that look like him. He want white people. If y'all really think about it, there are more than just Mexican immigrants here illegally. There are white people here illegally. Trump has done nothing to get them people out of this country for real. His wife was an illegal immigrant. He's done nothing to get these people out of this country. This is all racial. Stop believing the hype. I don't want to get into it too much. I'm going to save that for another live. It's been a long day, and I want to thank y'all for tuning in. But when y'all tune in next, let's go for Monday. Let's shoot for Monday or Tuesday. I want y'all to tune in. I want to get an entrepreneur on here next week, at least one. I'm gonna shoot for 2 or 3. I've been doing some things in my business, and I'm hyped for my business. So I want y'all to understand that it's time to get these entrepreneurs on here, and I want to make sure I interview them. I get them some coverage. We can get some clips, and we can go viral with the clips. I do numbers with my reels and my clips, y'all. So let's get some information from these entrepreneurs that can help other entrepreneurs, because we not going to sit and talk about Trump for 4 years. We're going to push our brands. We're going to push our marketing skills. We're going to do everything that we can do to make sure the people that look like us understand that other people that look like us, that we are doing great things. So I'm gonna get me some entrepreneurs on here in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. We're gonna load this up with some entrepreneur talk. And I'll even do some coaching sessions on the lives, y'all. If people want to come on and they want some coaching, some free coaching, all they gotta do is get on here and agree to jump on this live with me, and we can talk about your business, and we can go over what you need in your business to help you get to the next level. Because I do this with myself every other day. I'm going, okay, bam, I need to learn this. I need to do this. And I'm pushing myself to the limit, y'all. And I'm telling you, y'all need to get some of this game. You can enjoy the rest of your weekend. Now, y'all, the Super Bowl is tomorrow. I'm not going live during the Super Bowl. That would be kind of dope, though, y'all. We can go live during the Super Bowl and talk some Super Bowl. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to enjoy the Super Bowl tomorrow, and I'm going to let y'all do the same thing. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. I'm tapping out.